This is Ndtv. And you're watching Ndtv Hindu.
Out of every 10 shopping complexes in Chennai city work without a fire license, but the fire department says their hands are tied. Advocates in Chennai and the country protest against the proposed Legal Practitioners Act, say it would stifle their voices. A local AIA DNK secretary is hacked to death in Trichy district. Investigation begin into the incident. Ndtv Hindu uncovers the two-wheeler mafia working out vehicle deals in the city. The top cop promises action.
If the people come forth on these issues and we verify, then automatically criminal action can be taken.
And it was tough luck for the New Zealanders as India demolished them with a 5-0 whitewash. Captain Gambhir back to the man of the series. Good evening and welcome to your primetime bulletin. Headlines now on Ndtv Hindu. I'm Evelyn Matthew. The cricketing stars of India created history on the grounds of the Lords in the June of 1983. That day till today is cherished by every Indian cricket fan. But with a stellar performance displayed by the men in blue of Team India today, there are many hopes pinned on them and whether they can do an encore. The little master of Indian cricket, Sunil Gavaskar, is our very special guest on the show tonight. And who better than him to answer all those questions on our Team Youngistan that we have at hand. But first, let's also take a look at the day's top stories naturally. Well, what a win it's been today at our very own Chepauk Stadium this evening for the men in blue against the Kiwis. A stellar performance from both Yuvraj Singh and Parthiv Patel that helped India defeat the New Zealanders convincingly by 8 wickets in the fifth and final one-day in Chennai. Joining me on the show tonight is Mr. Sunil Gavaskar himself. Welcome to the studios and welcome to Chennai as well. After dominating Australia and the Kiwis, is this now a sign that perhaps the young players of our team have come of age? Do you believe that?
Well, I think it's a little bit early to say that because we've got to take into account the quality of the opposition that they played. And New Zealand, we all will agree that it wasn't exactly the most testing of opposition. So I think the jury will still be out as far as the readiness, the preparedness of the young team. But whatever opportunities that they've got, they've grabbed it. And that's always a good sign for the future, which will mean that with a little more experience, they'll be certainly ready to take over the mantle when the seniors decide that they've had enough.
Right. Since you're speaking of the future, heading into the World Cup, does it really speak volumes about India's bench strength at this point of time? Do you think it does it augur well for the future at least? Very
well indeed. Particularly to see the way some of the youngsters have kept their cool in a tight situation. The Bangalore game is a prime example where Yusuf Pathan, who's been in and out of the Indian team, didn't go slam bang, but played a very matured, calculated innings to get to a century. The way Saurav Tiwari, who struggled to really make the connection with the ball at the beginning of his innings, but he didn't chuck it away. He hung around there, tried to rotate the strike, tried to give Yusuf Pathan more of the strike. So temperamentally, this young team has certainly shown, has been very, very impressive. And I think that again, in my view, augurs very well for the future.
What about the areas of concern? Perhaps, for instance, Bhaji's worrying form with the ball, or perhaps even Yuvraj's time to be recalled to the test team as well. Is that something that needs to be considered now?
Well, I think we are a little too hard on Harbhajan Singh because we expect him to get 5 wickets in every innings, and if he doesn't then we start questioning his place in the team. A man who's got over 370 test wickets, I think he's allowed to go through the odd lean period, and I think that's probably what's happening to him. But with this rest, I think he'll be refreshed and fit for the South African game. And Yuvraj also, I think we are a little bit hard on Yuvraj, but he's one of our key players. The way he's been bowling, that's an additional option. It gives the team a little more flexibility. So if you have guys like Yuvraj and Yusuf Pathan coming and bowling their few overs, that certainly gives the captain a lot of flexibility in case some of the other regular bowlers are being hammered. So I'd imagine that the selection committee will certainly have a look at the additional string to the bows of Yuvraj and Yusuf Pathan.
Right, just before we leave you and we let you go, I'm going to be putting you on the spot for a moment there. What do you make of the Aussies urging Shane Warne to come out of retirement? Is that a sign of desperation? And who do you think will win the Ashes?
Well, I think asking for Shane Warne to come back to Test cricket really is a romantic idea, if I might say so, because it's been what, 2 or 3 years now since he's quit the game, and bowling 4 overs in a T20 game is one thing, and trying to bowl in the heat of Australia 40 overs in a Test match, that is going to take some doing. I say 40 overs simply because this England batting lineup is a very good batting lineup, and I don't think they'll crack as easily as they did 4 years ago when Australia won that series 5-0. I would not rate the Australians off at all, because they are a very good side. But at the moment, their bowling seems to be their weak link. And England 517 for 1 in the second innings of the first Test, and 500 plus again in the second Test, have capitalized on the weakness that the Australians have shown.
Well, that's all the beauty of the Ashes, isn't it? Thanks very much once again for joining us on the show tonight and for taking out time for this very special discussion.
Thank you.
Well, plenty more news and updates coming your way on Headlines Now. Do stay with us.